So folks, I'm sure you need power. You are looking for power. You are looking for strength. And you are looking for authority. Focus on this word, authority. Everyone is looking for authority in this world. Money gives you authority. Power gives you authority. I want to spend a little while with you about this important word, authority. My concepts got changed in life because when I was young, I also looked for authority. I looked for money. I looked for wealth. I never knew that running after wealth, I'll have to fall flat on the face. The right wealth comes behind. There's a good saying which says that people who run after money are not successful. Behind whom money runs, those people are successful. So, when we focus on this word authority, there are two kinds of authority. Think of it. One is formal authority. Let me spend a minute with that word. Formal authority. Your designation, your weight in the society, in the organization. You are a managing director or a manager or a CEO or a chief operation officer or whatever. Everyone looks for those positions in the organization. And those designations are symbol of authority. What kind of authority? Formal authority. They give you formal powers. Indian Administrative Service officers, civil servants, they have a lot of power. Very senior lawyers, they have a lot of power. Along with those powers, they influence the society. And the tendency of that power is they tend to stay with you beyond the domain of your official norms. Quite often we take the power home and we use the power with people at home. People at home are not waiting to receive a managing director back at home or a police officer back at home or an army commander back at home. They are waiting for their husband, father, brother, and their own relatives. So we are unable to limit those formal authorities, and then they become poison in our life. They become drugs in our life, and they tend to intoxicate us. And in that process, we just forget the more important authority. Here comes the second authority, which is called moral authority. One is a formal authority, another is a moral authority. What is a moral authority? In order to explain what is a moral authority, I have to use that word principles. Principles. Quite often we use these words. But how many of us really understand the meaning of what is principles? I know a lot of people, and myself for a long time in my life, I mixed up these two words, values and principles, until I learned that they're two different things. They have a very fine correlationship between the two. Now, think of a compass. If you bring a compass here, it will show one direction, north, another direction, south. You put another compass there, that also will show the same direction north and same direction south. Now in a group of people, if there are 100 people sitting down, you ask them to close their eyes and imagine which side is north and point their first finger towards the north, you will have 100 different directions. In their concepts of the mind, the north will be different. But for the compass, the north is same. Now the point towards their fingers go when you tell them, show me the north according to you. One will show here, another will show here, another will show here, another will show here. Why this variation? Because they imagine what is north according to their paradigms, according to their perceptions. And that's what is called values. But the north, which the compass points at, that is principles. The moment we clarify this important thing, lot of other things get clarified. Our confusions disperse from our life, and we really understand what is truly right and what is truly wrong. Values are presumptions about what is the principles, and they differ. They are not the same. But the principle is same, just like the north of the compass. Principles are same in the Western world and in the Eastern world. In India, in Japan, in China, principles are same. There is hardly any country where honesty is not valued. Righteousness is not valued. So here we are. Moral authority and formal authority. Now, the most unfortunate thing that happens in this world, these two are unconnected. In case of most of the people in the world, only a few people in the world, their formal authority is rooted in the moral authority. And when the formal authority is rooted in the moral authority, north will not be different. Because the north in our perceptions will be rooted in the north shown by the compass. So when our values are principle centered, then we call it virtue, the uppermost state of the human life, virtue. But when the moral authority is divorced from the formal authority and vice versa, then we do not operate on virtue. We come to a small v. It is called vanity. When our formal authority is not rooted in the moral authority and they are separated, then we shall misuse our power. You heard this word? Inappropriation of wealth, misuse of power. These are common dictums in the modern context, right? And the society has deteriorated because it works on vanity. Today's topic is from small v to capital V, from vanity to virtue, from formal authority separated from moral authority to formal authority rooted in moral authority. Simple definition of vanity is when your formal authority gets divorced from the moral authority, you work on your vanity. You work on your ego. Ego gets separated and operates in your life as the supreme boss, then you work on your vanity. Then the power that you enjoy in your office will become integral with your personality. Like many public sector organizations I see, people don't address people by their name. They address people by their designation. I'm going to meet the GM. I'm going to meet the MM. I'm going to meet the AGM. Like in all such organizations, the human being is lost. That human factor has vanished and only designations prevail. They look at people by way of their designation. Then quite often some of them have got miserable life. When they retire, they don't have the power of their pen. They don't have the power of their authority, and they become ordinary human beings. And that is the time it becomes very difficult for them to reconcile with the reality of life. In our Ramayana, one of the greatest spiritual scriptures, in the story of Ram and Lakshman and Bharat, the three brothers, we learn a very beautiful things. Ramayana teaches us very beautiful principles of life. When Ram went away and Bharat became the king, Bharat did not know anything about it. When he came back from his uncle's place and he knew that Ram had left and he has to be the king, he could not morally accept this verdict. It was very difficult for him because Ram was the eldest son. By hierarchy, he is the most entitled person to be the king. And Bharat was the second. And it was just politics through which he was made the king. Bharat went all the way to call back Ram, but Ram did not return because he made a promise to his father. Now Bharat came back to the city. He had a choice. He cannot leave the city uncared. Every kingdom needs a king. So he had to work as the king. Now what he did, he kept Ram's paduka. Paduka means the shoes or the chappal. Earlier on, they used to wear paduka made of wood. So he kept Ram's paduka on the singhasana, on the throne, and he sat in the ground and ruled the empire. This small example teaches us quite a lot. It teaches us the chair is a chair. The singhasana is a singhasana. I am not the singhasana. I am not the designation. The designation is going to be there even after I go. Someone else will come and occupy that designation. So I am not the designation. So if I become attached with the designation, it will be later very difficult for me to separate myself from the designation. And that attachment is going to create havoc in my life. So someone told me long time ago, and I liked that statement. One of our seniors in the office, I worked under him, and my boss told me, remember Ashit, you are the gatekeeper of the designation. You are not the designation. You are the gatekeeper of the chair on which you are sitting. That chair will always be there. You are not the chair. You are just like a tenant, right? The house does not belong to you. You occupy the house, you stay there, and then you go. The house is of the owner. So the chair is a designation, it's a symbol of authority. But we get attached to that authority, or we get detached to the morality. In that case, we operate on vanity. And then we have very complex values in our life, which made us blocked. Our growth stops, our evolution get impeded, and we become small. We reduce ourselves to almost oblivion. So, from small v to capital V, let's ascend from the realm of vanity to the high level of virtue. From vanity to virtue. I will tell you a beautiful story to substantiate this matter. This story is about a businessman, a very busy man. He always wanted some holidays for himself. And every time he plans a holiday, every time some other new work comes, and he is unable to avail the holidays, and the holidays get cancelled. But this time he made it a point. He was very fond of the sea. He wanted to go near the sea and spend a weekend. So this time he makes it a point and he starts. He reaches on a Friday evening. The next 2 days are holidays. When he reached by the side of the sea, it was dark. He could only hear the sound of the waves, and the cool breeze blowing over the sea touched his skin. He felt good, but he was tired. He said, tomorrow early morning I shall wake up. They say there is a beautiful sunrise. I will witness the sunrise tomorrow morning. So he wakes up very early and gets ready. He removes the curtain from the window pane, opens the window, the beautiful dancing, bouncing waves of the sea he saw them rolling up the shore and going back to the ocean. Surfing all the way, and the eastern sky had a crimson patch. The sun was about to rise. He brought his binocular and started focusing on the seashore, waiting for the beautiful sunrise to happen. When he focuses his binocular, a very strange scene comes to his eyes. You know what he sees? He sees a lean, dark guy. He's running about on the shore and he's picking up something and throwing in the water. He focuses his binocular and then comes to know this man was picking up those brilliant, bright starfishes which were rolling up the shore with the surfing sea waves, and they were jumping and dying. This man was picking them up and throwing them back into the water to give them life. He was so busy running from one end to the other end restlessly. To this businessman, it made no sense. He said, "Hey, what this man is doing? What is he trying to do saving the life of those fishes? No. I must stop them. I must stop him." So he runs out of his room and rushes to the seashore where that black man was still running about, picking the fishes and throwing it back to the ocean. He screams at that man saying, "Hey man, what are you doing? What difference your work will make? For thousands of years, these fishes will come and they will die. There are millions of fishes in the sea. How many of them can you save? Stop doing it, man. Stop doing it. It makes no difference." This man won't stop. He was still busy doing it. Now this man comes close to him, gets hold of him, shakes him a little. He said, "Hey man, are you mad? Are you crazy? Don't you know there are millions of fishes in the sea? What difference does it make? It makes no difference at all. Stop doing this. You will die under the sun. Save yourself. Don't worry about those fishes. It makes no difference. They're supposed to die and they will die forever." Now this man stops. He picked up one of the fishes. And now he looks at this man and says, "What did you say? It makes no difference? Now look at life. Life is still thriving. It made a difference. This life was saved. It made a difference. It didn't make a difference to you, but it makes a difference to that one." He picked up another fish and throws it back to the ocean and said, "It made a difference to that one. It made difference to this one. It made difference to this one." People like you stand by the side of the sea and all the time gives an excuse of thousands of fishes. If I worry about those millions of fishes inside the ocean, how will I save this life? I came here in the morning. I never came to do this. When I saw the lives dying, I thought that's the work God has given me today. I shall do it as long as I can, because when you do it with virtue, it makes a difference. Virtue is the ultimate thing of life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure I could make my point to you. So from today, vow to live a life where all your formal authorities are rooted in moral authorities. No vanities, but virtue all the time. Thank you very much. See you again.